Good morning. It's me, Pearl from Pearl and the Prayers, and this is Tuned In Tarot. And we are here to take a look at the balance between the divine masculine and divine feminine sides of self, understanding that whatever state we find this energy in, we can expect to see this reflected back to us in our interactions with others and in our external environment. And if we want to see changes occur in our lives, in our relationships, we have to really go within and find where we need to shift inside of ourselves. And this helps us do that. You come here thinking about a person, and there's nothing wrong with that. But just know that this is really your energy. So if it applies to your person, it likely applies to something inside of you. And when you can find that intersection where you can relate with your person's energy, then you can find a way to shift the energy within you and either come into alignment with that person, or a new person with the correct alignment will show up for you. Okay, let's begin. Divine Masculine's going to go first today because he had one card showing and Divine Feminine did not show any of her cards. Alrighty, let's get started. I need a drink first. All right, here we go. Top of the deck, overall headspace for the divine masculine energy is the Death card in reverse. So this is the card of transformation, rebirth. It can be the card of endings, and it can be about ending separation. It can be about resisting something dying, resisting something being over. Since this is the thing that is consuming his mind, I have a feeling that this is really about not wanting something to be over, and in fact, wanting to bring about the end of separation. But I think not quite knowing exactly yet how to do so, but that is still, it's probably why it's consuming the mind. It's like, how exactly do I end the separation? How do I rebirth the connection? How do I transform the energy? It's 7:22 on the clock. And my glasses are really bad. I think I just dropped a fortune from a fortune cookie. So, and it was like, good things are coming. That was what the fortune was. And I was like, I know. Okay, anyway, continuing on. In the back of the mind, the reason why I'm saying I feel that this has to do with relationships or connections is because the underlying thing in the back of the mind behind all thoughts and decisions is the Lover's card. So I definitely feel that this masculine is really thinking about ending the separation that has existed between the masculine and the feminine energy. He's for sure not wanting to the connection to be over. That's very, very certain. And the fact that the head space, the top of the deck, and the heart space are both these major arcana cards. This is a major significant energy. The first thing on his mind is releasing this Eight of Swords energy. So, and I also feel like he's wanting divine feminine to release her, any protection that she's put up, any walls or boundaries that she's put up. But obviously it's a reflection of his own energy. So he's trying to release this chronic like overthinking and this barrier of his own thoughts that really just protects him from going and doing what it is that he wants to do. I think it's interesting to note the combination of water and earth that the feminine stands on here. It's like it's sticky, right? It's mud. If it will form a mud and your feet will sink into it. And he's wanting to like get out of this sticky energy where all of these concerns and worries he's had have prevented him from making a choice. He's released that energy because that's in the past placement. And we have here the Two of Pentacles in reverse. So this is the decision to stop juggling things stop having an imbalance or a back and forth energy that is imbalanced. He's wanting to choose a new path because the next thing that comes up on his mind is temperance in reverse. So there's a lot of imbalance here. There's been imbalance, and that's what he's wanting to release. So there could be needing to deal with some kind of addictions, but I really think that what it was about choosing to go through the healing process. And also, I think having to deal with fears with the protection of the union, because we see this angel here. And the back and forth, there's concern that he may have sabotaged the union, like he may have done something that like voided the protection of it or something like that. He's got concern about that, but he's trying not to let those thoughts or fears hold him back. There's also just a lot of emotion here and a lot of impatience, because the next card that's coming up is this Two of Wands associated with Twin Flame. And it's the card where you're waiting for something that you've asked for. You have an idea of what you want your world to look like. You're like holding that idea fixed, and you're not certain exactly how this is going to be delivered to you. But you're and you kind of like in a planning stage. You try to plan, but there's really nothing you can do except for plan or strategize. And this is in the past placement. This is what is causing the impatience and the imbalance in the union and the struggle, which is next. But this divine masculine is not afraid of competition, I feel. There's this feeling right now of wanting to bust through this into the Six of Wands energy, but there's been this impasse that has had to do with the balancing of the connection. So one is giving more than the other. There's this dance back and forth, and a struggle and fighting for that victory, for public acknowledgement, to take this from something that is ethereal, like heavenly, and bring it down to the earth, has been a struggle. And he's impatient with how small the gestures that he's able to make have been. And honestly, because he's trying to figure out exactly how to end the separation, he's still not quite certain how to come forward. The small gestures that he's made in the past are no longer effective, so he can't use that anymore. And there is a sense here too of a lack of worthiness, I often feel. So there's a release of this energy of feeling unworthy to come forward with an offer. So that's what's going on in the headspace. I'm also feeling tongue-tied and like my mind is racing and a little nervous. Okay, let's look at the heart space. I'm laughing because the first card. The Magician in reverse is the top of the deck in the heart space. So this is a feeling of powerlessness and of a lack of collaboration or co-creation with spirit. Coming out to clarify the Death card in reverse, it's feeling powerless to the separation or to the inevitable end of that separation. But definitely there's a manipulative energy that comes from a Magician in reverse, and a feeling of wanting to be able to manipulate the clay in order to get it to work, like to try to force it to work. There's like a frustrated feeling. And then just to clarify, we have the same Page of Pentacles energy in the heart space, the niggling feeling, which is releasing unworthiness, releasing these small ineffective gestures. And there could be this, because this is the Daughter of Pentacles in reverse, there could be something to do with children also, a boy and a girl or something, because there's like a feeling of both energies. But it's like having to, there could be some manipulation that has held him back, that has made it difficult for him to end the separation. And he's navigating this, like he's navigating his feelings about how to handle this situation. And it's been the reason why the gestures have been small and felt ineffective. So the first card that comes out is the Sun card, but it's interesting because it is in reverse. Okay. I thought that I saw it in reverse, and then when it was falling onto my desk, and then it fell like kind of like this, and I was like, I don't know how to take it. So I just like grabbed it and then pushed it on top of the deck, and I thought, oh, maybe that flipped it around, but it didn't. It's still in reverse. But that makes sense because it's clarifying the Eight of Swords. So this is what we were protecting ourselves from. Full enlightenment, because complete enlightenment means we have to take full accountability for our role in everything that's happened, number one. Number two, we've resisted the ability to enjoy our happiness. Divine Masculine is thinking and feeling that Divine Feminine is blocking her happiness, and so is he. They're both unable to like truly taste this at the moment in this past position. This is what they've been struggling with. The Divine Masculine's decision is having to do with this Seven of Swords energy. So he has come up with some kind of a strategy to get them out of the situation where they're in this Eight of Swords. An image just flashed into my mind from the Cosmic Tarot, which has in the Eight of Swords, the masculine and feminine are standing within the Ring of Swords. And instead of being blindfolded, they actually are standing with their backs to one another. And you have this sense that all they have to do is just turn around, good morning, and they will see each other. And eventually, if they can work through their fears and worries, they can end the separation as you progress through the swords. But the Seven of Swords gives you this strategy, or it can be about a surprise, and it can be about secrets and things that are hidden, but it's not coming up with a feeling of secrecy to me. It's coming up with, I feel, cleverness, strategy, getting away with something. And I don't mean getting away with something bad. I mean kind of getting away with something good. 7:33 on the clock right now. This Temperance card in reverse, this is being clarified by the Father of Wands in reverse. So we have someone who's feeling like they can't take action. They're too in their emotions. They're like I said, like my mind is racing. I feel tongue-tied. I don't feel in command of things. This could be somebody who really does have a drinking problem and keeps turning to that to try to help. Sometimes when I use the Housewives Tarot, I think of liquid courage, and so it could be somebody who's dealing with that kind of an energy, and they take too much, and it prevents them from being able to get behind the wheel, even figuratively, even metaphorically. So he's really wanting to balance out inside of himself so that he can come into a place where he can take action. And he wants to balance this tendency towards jealousy and anger. There's anger issues. There's jealousy issues. Those are all things that he's needing strategies to work with. This could be somebody who needs to take anger management courses or needs to go to work on addictions, but it's definitely somebody who needs to get control of their own passions. And this is what we've sort of been waiting for. This is what we've learned on the twin flame journey here with the Two of Wands and the Six of Cups in reverse. The beauty of the journey is that even though we haven't experienced the reunion yet, what we see is that the reunion pales in comparison to the history that we have in the Six of Cups. The Six of Cups is about innocence and bliss. It's about understanding that the past is composed of the good and the bad and the ugly, and all of it is valid and makes for this beautiful, complex, intricate connection, right? So we see that the divine masculine is the delay, the thing that has been taking so much time for him to come into this place where he's ready to reunite, is that he's really having to strategize how to handle his passions, how to really have control over some of the sides of self that have stemmed from the ego and fear and needing to protect himself, some very like defensive sort of mechanisms that he's come up with. Oh, I like this. Okay. The Eight of Pentacles here is in reverse. Now, I just texted somebody yesterday in my stories, posted a picture of an orb weaver or a video of an orb weaver, and I sent them a message that said that when we see spiders, usually it's about messages of patience, building something, and knowing that your abundance will come. The Eight of Pentacles can be about being very focused on your career, working too much, or coming up with this Five of Wands. It's competing for your time. We see here also with that Two of Pentacles, this can be somebody who juggles like their head and their heart, their career and their home life, and it's coming out imbalanced because your job is less forgiving than your wife normally, right? So you're always kind of giving to the it's such an unfair imbalance because you give to the thing that doesn't give back to you the same way. And soon the fulfillment goes away because you're imbalanced inside of yourself. So the thing you're pouring your heart into that doesn't give you any heart back is not doing that anymore, right? You come up really imbalanced. So this has been what divine feminine has been competing with. It hasn't been other parties like in terms of relationships, because this masculine is very committed to this feminine. It has really been about the struggle with reputation, with career, with the material prosperity. And divine masculine is releasing the struggling against this. He's like taking time out, finally, to prioritize so that he will not be taking any more of these small gestures towards the Two of Cups, which, as you know from his headspace, is what he's focused on. It's underlying every thought and decision is this manifestation of the lovers in the physical. So breaking bread, being able to share your cups. No more small steps towards this, but much more significant action. Once he has felt he has tempered or more command of his emotions, which right now are very, he's integrating feminine, right, inside of self. So he's in touch with his emotions. And then he has the balancing act to do with the masculine, which is like, now that he knows he loves this person and wants to be with this person, he has to hold back some of the more aggro aspects of the masculine energy, right? Let's go look at feminine side. Now remember, the feminine side does not just mean a feminine gendered person. It means the feminine energy within you, and that same feminine energy is reflected in whatever person you are focusing on. So the last part, if you are a feminine focusing on a masculine, that was information about your masculine, but it was also information about yourself. This is the same. This is information about yourself, but it's also information about how your person feels, right? Like it's still linked. Okay. So the top of the deck overall headspace for feminine is the Knight of Wands in reverse. She can't stop thinking about the dark side, the shadow of the Knight of Wands. She's really working to release her views, her thoughts, her ideas about masculine energy having to do with this inconsistent, ineffective, very surface level sexual energy stuff, and come into the light of the card, which is spontaneity, sweeping someone off their feet, following your passion, not letting anything sort of stand in your way. Even if you have no sword, you just pick up whatever you have, you go fight the dragon, kind of a thing, right? It's like not a good plan, but like you got a lot of heart, you got a lot of fire inside. That's the light of the card. She's trying to see her divine masculine in this light, but it's really hard. There's like a switching back and forth where she's like, is he being a dick? Is he being good? Is he being an asshole? Is he being a dick? She's not able to kind of decide. And that's why it's going back and forth in her headspace. What she knows for certain is she doesn't want that. She doesn't want this. She doesn't want this to be like, I'm coming, but then I'm not really coming. It's not going to be okay. I can tell. If that happens, we're going to have a much different reading when we meet up again in a few days, okay? That's how the Divine Feminine is. She's like, do not give me this. If you give me this, I'm going to give you some of this. Like, no, okay? The niggling thing in the back of her mind, underlying all her thoughts and decisions, is, could I please just put this burden down? Please, could I put this burden down? It is very difficult for me to ask for help. Do you know how hard it is for me to ask for help? Look how confident I am. Look at how absolutely in command of myself and all of my things I am usually supposed to seem. And so how can I possibly ask for help? How can I ask you to help me? Especially when I've asked you to help me and you don't before. So I feel very worried about the potential that if I try to put this burden down and share it with you, that you're not going to stick around for it, that you're just going to fuck off again. And I'm going to be like, great, I'm left here holding all these sticks and there's no fire again, right? So Divine Masculine's concerned about this, and she's tired, and she really doesn't want to put this down. And she's starting to question that thing that's like, oh, you never get more than you can handle. And she's like, oh, really? Okay, well, it doesn't seem like that, though. She's being sassy right now. Confirmed by the first card. Princess of Wands. This is Page of Wands. So she does feel excited, which is why she's worried. She's like, oh, I'm excited. Oh, no. Is this that again? Is this going to be a situation where I'm going to, like, my fantasies are, I'm going to have to, like, face reality about this person and accept that this person is incredibly silent? It's just, I can't make it up. So this Page of Wands energy, she's ready. She's ready. She's excited to ground the union with the King of Cups. But she's worried that this King of Cups is going to maintain that silence. This is such a great guy, or whatever person's gender that is. It's just a masculine energy. But this masculine energy is fantastic. However, doesn't say anything. So she's trying to be realistic and not get too overexcited, not be immature about the messages that she's getting or feeling or whatever it is, because there's still a lot of secrets. There are a lot of things still hidden. This is the Moon card. We're using the Mystic Mondays. By the way, this deck that I was using was the Wild Unknown Tarot. I forgot to say that. This is Mystic Mondays. And this is what she's excited about. It could be the new moon, actually. New energy, this surge of energy. She's kind of excited about the hidden things right now. Maybe she feels like there's some surprises awaiting her to a certain extent. But this is why she's being careful, because she doesn't know exactly what's going on. She doesn't know for certain if the dreams and fantasies that she's had are actually realistic and actually going to be grounding into the 3D. So she's keeping to herself. She's in isolation right now at the moment. And she's needing to heal some of the wounds that she's received from battling. She might have received communications in the Eight of Wands or sent communications in the Eight of Wands. And now she's kind of like holed up behind that wall and just sort of waiting and seeing what's going on. But there's perseverance in the Nine of Wands. And it's an exhausting energy. And I do think Divine Feminine, especially with this and this, she's really fucking tired, okay? She's like real exhausted. She's honestly just sort of like, okay. I mean, if that's what's going to happen, that's cool. I'm going to go take a nap. I'm so tired of this business. I can hardly stand on my own 2 feet anymore. So she's not rushing into union before she's healed. She's instead kind of staying, watching, waiting, persevering through the wounds she's received, and gaining clarity, this Seven of Cups, about this King of Cups. Now, this is also her desire not to have any other options. She's like, I don't need anyone else except for this King of Cups, which is why I'm worried. Because if this Divine Masculine is in this energy and I don't entertain any other options, am I fucked? Is she's thinking? Okay, let's look at her heart space. The top of the deck for the heart space, we're using the Muse Tarot, which was a gift from Michelle. If you'd like to send me a deck, there's a link down below, and also at pearlsprayers.com where you can book personal readings. There's a place where you can click support or send me a deck so I can keep doing this fun stuff for you. The 10 of Pentacles. And this is a really interesting one because this one is all about connection. And we don't see like the traditional trappings of the 10 of Pentacles. It's called the 10 of Materials in this deck, actually. We see a whole group of people connected, and we see growth, expansion, and, you know, roses usually standing for love, the unfolding of consciousness. So in Divine Feminine's heart space, she's actually feeling her material needs are being met, or she has a really good sense that they will be and they will continue to be met, and that there is a community of support around her, and that what she used to picture would be her material happiness that had like this couple and the family and the house and the car and stuff. She's like, oh, you know, that stuff is nice. It's not that I don't want that stuff, but I don't need that stuff. This is that same feeling of like, I have all I need. There might not be a house here or a car here, but there's earth, there's nature, there's people. And I can find a way to feel really fulfilled and happy in this present moment in this world that I'm in right now, which is really fucking awesome. And the reason why is because the niggling feeling is my fears and worries. I don't worry. I'm not worried anymore. I don't worry anymore. You know, I mean, most of what I'm thinking about is just like, is he going to be this? Is he going to be that? Is he going to be this? Is he going to be that? I don't know. Is he going to share my burden or not? I don't know. But whether he does or not, I mean, I've healed my wounds. I can stand my ground against opposing forces. I have all I need. So I guess I'll be okay. It's kind of the feeling I'm getting. And we have the Eight of Pentacles, matching Divine Masculine's Eight of Pentacles, which, by the way, we did have union, I think. Oh, maybe not. Maybe not as much today. But here's the Princess of Wands, or the Page of Wands energy, being clarified by this Eight of Pentacles. So the thing that she's feeling super excited about, honestly, is her work in the world, is what she's creating, right? And we're called back to this material fulfillment, is the sense that she is powerful enough, even though she's just starting out, even though she's just starting to grow in this energy, the work that she's doing is definitely significant. It's building up to that 10 of materials that she's feeling very confident about right now. But she's taking small steps towards that growth. Here's the Four of Cups, which is the fantasies, dreams card, grounding into reality. And that is clarifying the Queen of Pentacles in reverse. So this is the thing that's most difficult, I think, for her to really fully embrace, is she feels like she's just starting out. She doesn't quite feel yet in her full power in the material. She knows the potential is there, but she doesn't quite feel like she's really solid and stable quite yet. She's growing into that, though, and that is clarified by that Page of Wands we saw in the headspace, where she's feeling like she's just starting out, etc. We're seeing the Page of Wands in reverse. So she's releasing a feeling of being immature, not being able to handle something. And that something is this King of Cups energy. So she is feeling emotional mastery for sure. And it is helping her in this process of assessing whether or not she still feels chemistry for this silent king. She's also has this, she's having an understanding or getting this clarity that we saw coming from the reverse on the Seven of Cups about what kept her from feeling like this Queen of Pentacles. Having a fantasy version of herself that included a masculine energy and did not allow for her own personal strength to be the center of her own vision or fantasy. This has caused her to desire the masculine to complete her. And she's releasing that immature idea that this person completes her. She knows now, no, I am complete by the work I do in the world, by the connections I have with everyone in my life, not just with one really good option, right? And the moon is being clarified by the Page of Cups, which both of these cards are about dreams. And one is about, it can be about emotional maturity, but it can be about new love. It is about true love. It is emotionally developing. And I think it's also about this love that's been hidden or secret or not fully revealed, not fully illuminated or allowed to come out into the light. Something about that coming from this card, but wanting to be really heart-centered and believe, not feeling naive, but believing in the mystery, in the cosmic energy, something like that. This Nine of Wands, wow, I said she's healed and learned how to stand her ground. And then we have that Seven of Wands in reverse, which is not needing to stand your ground, not like lowering your defenses. So It's 7:55 on the clock. So allowing the feeling that you have all this opposing energy, and then having a sense that, oh, I created this opposing energy. I wanted one thing, but I was afraid I couldn't have it, or that I couldn't handle it, which is really the biggest thing for her, a feeling that she can't handle what she wants or desires. So I put this other fear here pulling in this direction, while my desire was pulling in this direction, and I was stuck. I couldn't move and I thought, oh, the reason why I can't move is because of my circumstances. But my circumstances were a reflection of my fears that I can't move, which is such a frustrating thing to discover. It takes a lot of time alone and healing in order to really get to this point where we stop fighting off our desire. What? And we have the 9 of Cups, which if you get this upright or in reverse, it's still about your wish fulfillment. It's still a good card, just like the Sun, which we also got. And it's clarifying the 7 of Cups. So she's not confused about what she wishes for. She wishes to be able to feel the full expression, to be able to share everything that she's learned, to be able to share the emotions and feelings she has with others, and to feel those emotions and feelings shared with her. She doesn't want to be selfish or hold back anything that she might desire right now. And she doesn't want the masculine energy to do that either. She is also very clear about this. Good morning, Heather. She is also very clear about this idea of being careful what you wish for, and understanding that what you do wish for, you attract, and being prepared to receive it is important. So that's where Divine Feminine is. I feel like we're in like this, we're working through stuff. Definitely obstacles this week will be interesting. Okay. Let's go to the oracles now. We're going back to masculine energy. He is in the light attributes of the bully. So he's released, he's highlighting his tendency to intimidate others. So he's recognizing that he has the tendency to do this. And he is confronting the inner fears in that bully him, that kind of have in the past pushed him into this bullying energy. That's funny. My masculine energy has this energy of like, come here, do this. Okay. And so it's kind of like that, like just this side of self that comes from that emperor energy of sort of, things are done when you command them to be done, but you get the sense that at some point this person flips a switch and their bullying is about something that they're afraid of. So it becomes about control, and he's confronting this. Hey, it's the Archangel of Twin Flames, Saint Raphael, and also the one I'm very devoted to. But this card says helpful eating. So Divine Masculine, who had the Temperance card in reverse, and the Father of Wands card in reverse is having, or King of Wands card in reverse is probably dealing with appetites, suppressing appetites for all kinds of things, like not just food, but anything that one can be hungry or thirsty for, even spiritually or figuratively, however you want to look at that. So he's being supported right now in this temperance energy. And he might be taking care of himself much, much more than he has been, because he's starting to release these feelings of unworthiness with the Page of Pentacles in reverse there. That's the I'm a loser card, kind of like releasing that energy. Attack, pain, fear, judgment, and any form of separation are merely calls for help. So masculine energy is being reminded of this message again with the bully card in its upright. And this card in its reverse, I feel he's confronting this, that when he's attacked feminine or felt pain or fear or judgment or focused on the separation, it's just been calls for help to actually go through and do the healing that needs to take place. We're getting the Justice card in reverse today. And for Divine Masculine, this is him feeling that he's been unfair to the feminine. We saw he's really thinking a lot about imbalance. He had the Two of Pentacles in reverse, and he had Temperance in reverse, and now we're seeing Justice in reverse. So he definitely feels like the situation has been really unfair for this feminine energy, and he wants to balance the scales. Confidence is his key to success. Just needs to channel that. Just channel me. I'm very confident. Oh my God, I'm such a Leo. Please channel any Leo you know. We're rare, precious, and we're the best at everything. See, you gotta have, that's all you do. You just have to do that. Confidence is key to success. People are gonna either love it or hate it. But you know what I find? Most people love it. They really do. The people that hate it, I'm like, fuck you anyway. Akasha, your guidance is divinely guided. This is also about past life connections. So Divine Masculine is having a sense that this is something, this connection is something that is truly a past life connection. That the familiarity here is undeniable. So there's definitely a sense that there's an awareness that, I don't know why I can't talk. Whenever I'm doing the masculine side, he just cannot, he feels so tongue-tied. But that this is something from his past that's finally coming to his present. And this advice is that his guidance is divinely guided. Cannot talk. All right. Spider spirit. What the hell? And I literally said this about the spider. All right. Well, I'm going to read the message because usually when that comes out, it's like, you better read all the messages. You don't want to miss anything. All right. 56 is the number on the card of the Spider Spirit card from the Colette Baron Reed deck. This is such a great deck. The cards are beauteous. Weaving your dreams into the fabric of life begins with a single thread of intention, and then Spirit joins you as your co-weaving partner. Take but a single step to make your dreams a reality, and Spirit will take 10 towards you, for the universe is designed to support your dream weaving. Spider Spirit arrives when you need reminding of the awesome power of co-creation with Spirit. Ideas and resources will begin to appear as if by magic, as you begin to bring your dreams from the realm of intention into the world of the senses where they take form. The action you need to take is to be clear about your intentions, and then act as if you have become the one that lives the life you desire. The web of creation has an uncanny way of coming together to weave the beautiful pattern you set in motion. Another message of Spider Spirit is about any creative project you may be considering. Writing, painting, music, journaling, gardening, etc. Now is the time when inspiration wants to be channeled through you as something creative, even artistic and tangible. Creative projects are successful now, if you are so inclined. Let yourself be open to abundance. Okay. So I see your comment there, Heather, about you being called a bully and how it's a mirror. Yes, this masculine energy that we're talking about while you're associating with a person, it is actually your energy. You're confronting your issues of potentially bullying, which is about you use like bullying to sort of suppress inner fears that are bullying you, right? So the Spider card, this definitely is this lesson Divine Masculine is having to learn here, which is he has to co-create, okay? He has a tendency to think he's going to build the web and then build the flies that are going to fly into the web so he can eat them, right? No, back off. You're not God. I know you feel like it, but you're not. working with spirit. And so divine masculine needs to embrace that and actually feel relieved about that, because spirit's way better at that shit, like just let spirit do it. All right, this is the door that needs to be opened or closed. Wait, is that correct? No, that is not. Wait, is it correct? That is not correct. This is the door. This is the door that needs to be opened or closed for divine masculine. He cannot get rid of this door. This is this door of this massive ego. Thank you. Thank you, Heather. I love that you love my readings. This is this massive door. No, he's too massive to fit through the door. For me, this is about his ego. Really, really having to just, right? You can't do it by yourself. And nobody cares. Those two things. Nobody cares. You're so concerned. I just saw something that said, I think Michelle had it in her stories. It was like something about, I don't remember what it said about the 30s, but in your 40s, it said in your 40s, you don't care what people think. And in your 60s, you realize nobody's ever been paying any fucking attention to you anyway. So he needs to get to this place of feeling like, he feels like he's larger than life. Like people are so concerned about him. And this isn't even, it's not like I don't want this to be a shaming feeling, like it's like, oh, you're such a narcissist. Though there are elements of narcissism in here. Most of us are artists, and most artists are very narcissistic. It's just like you focus on yourself to create something. You have to think that your stuff is good to do that, and there's this delicate balance of the ego that goes on in that process. And most of us were raised by people with narcissistic personality disorder in this collective too, so we engage in narcissist empath paradigms. However, I don't want this to sound like that's what it is about, because it's not really. It's really sort of an innocent thing. Like people with general social anxiety, I have noticed, really do feel like other people are thinking about them. And being friends with me, I can sometimes sound like an asshole, but I'll just be like, that guy probably wasn't thinking about you though. Like, look, that guy was definitely thinking about like the porn he had been watching in the bathroom before he got his coffee while he was in line. Like, okay, but people have other things to think about. They don't spend a lot of time thinking about strangers. If it's your family, if it's your close friends, okay, maybe they're thinking about you. Maybe they're having judgments about you. But the general population doesn't give a fuck. If they do give a fuck, it's going to be like a couple of minutes, because there's going to be something else that's going to happen a couple minutes later, and they're going to forget about you. This isn't going to be like top headlining issue for the next 10 years. Oh my God, I can't believe that person did that thing. For 10 years? No. We've already forgotten about things we should not even have forgotten about. So shrink down to size there, divine masculine, so you can get through the door, because that door is where your spiritual happiness is. It's not just the material foundations under your feet. It's everything else, actually, besides that makes you feel stable and secure. So he's got to open the door, and the way to do that is this hanged man energy, which is perspective. The perspective I just gave. Nobody gives a fuck. Nobody really fucking cares. I just believe me. It's true. Listen, most of you have been watching tarot readings all day, or will continue to, or whatever, because all you're thinking about is your own shit. And there's no reason why you shouldn't be, because no one else is you. So most people are just doing that. And he needs that perspective that there's not this whole audience of people just waiting for him to like drown in his feelings and emotions in front of them while he looks like an idiot. Like there's nobody caring that much. What really happens is people hear the story that he's worried about and they're like, oh, that's cute. And they fucking move on with their lives. All right. Hope that helps, divine masculine. Love you. Okay. Divine feminine. Let's look at your issues. It's your turn to get an ass whooping from me. Okay. Vampire energy. Y'all are bullies and vampires up in here. This is a light attribute. Makes you aware that someone or something is draining your life force. So you are aware, Divine Feminine, of how much energy you've been pouring into the masculine or into people in your lives. What's this? I love that you turn into a lady from Brooklyn when calling this masculine. Yes. I'm an Italian from New York. I have to do that. Sorry about it. Imagine I'm your person. Okay. So you're no longer depleting others for your psychic survival or chronic complaining or having issues with codependency. So you're releasing these things that form 90% of relationships in the world. You're like, oh, that doesn't work for me. I don't want to do that anymore. Bye. I'm not going to do that. And now you're focusing more on putting your energy into things that are meaningful to you, into yourself. If you put your energy into your person, it is not in a way that drains you. It is literally a surplus of energy. You're like, I'm feeling generous today. I'll throw you a bone, right? St. Mary Magdalene is here to help you with forgiveness. It's so difficult. And this is coming out also with the sign from above. So if you've been wondering if you should do some forgiveness work, here's your sign from above. Or if you've been like, what's wrong? It's 8:11 on the clock. What's wrong? Like, why aren't things working for me all the time? There could be some issues with forgiveness that are haunting you. So the forgiveness mantra that I've been using for the last couple of months, which I got from Meredithia Crystals and Minerals or something on YouTube. She's so sweet and calm. She's the opposite of me. She is extremely calm, and I love listening to her. But like, and it's all spiritual journey stuff. But she gave me this mantra, which is, I forgive myself for not forgiving you, and with this, I forgive you too. So pick the person you like the least and picture them in your mind. You can even get all salty about them if you want. You can just want to eviscerate them. And then grit your teeth and say, I forgive myself for not forgiving you. And with this, I forgive you too. I'm picturing the person right now. It's not my DM. Other people in my life. But picture your person or the person that you have a deep, deep wound with and do that forgiveness work. This will liberate you because your resentment is a poison you take expecting the other person to die. And that is a quote I got from Wilfred, which is the weirdest show ever. Very disturbing. And I used to love that one. And that will tell you all you need to know about me. Okay. The key to prayer is to forget what I think I need. And I'm always hammering this. When you're praying for something, when you're asking for something, when you want something, just forget what you think you need. The divine already knows what you need. You have a bad feeling. You have a feeling that you're like, I don't like this. Or it's usually that, or you feel like a loss, or you feel there's something that you want to be felt. So that's what you're asking for. When you're like, I want Joe Schmo from Idaho, the universe is like, oh, she wants companionship and love, and she's personifying that through this person that's definitely not available for any of that. So I will prepare for her somebody who can bring her companionship and love. Prepare for companionship and love, and then you're like, oh, please give me this person, Joe Schmo from Idaho, and then you meet companionship and love, and you don't even notice because of Joe Schmo. And the universe is like, I don't know why I signed up for this. Right? So forget what you think you need. You think you need Joe, but maybe you need someone entirely different. You keep getting this card. Now it's coming out in reverse. You're having trouble with the self-love. This is kindergarten for me. I'm like, come on, feminines. Self-love is hard. That's what I teach every day. Oh, God, I'm starting to get very frustrated with myself. For this reason, this has to be enough. Loving ourselves has to be enough. Until it's enough, our relationships are going to be codependent. which is okay. You're just going to keep learning the lesson, and it's uncomfortable, but we are here to find out how great we are and then show everybody else how great they are by our own acknowledgement of our own worthiness. That's our job. Our job is to be like, oh my, I am wonderful. I was created by somebody who made me wonderful, and you're wonderful, and so are you, and you're all wonderful, and let me tell you about it. And people are like, why? Why is your life so wonderful? And you're like, well, because I started to love life and myself, and your life can be wonderful too. And you're not going to be able to convince everybody, but some people will be convinced, and that was your job. And the rest of them, they're just learning. They're just baby souls. The energy is gaining momentum, and I can feel it. Divine Feminine, this next card. Just say yes, and this was emphasized. And I won't bother looking this up in the book because it's just 3 pages of yes, 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 yes. And this is like 3 of Cups energy for me. So allow the joy, allow the friendships, allow the celebration, allow the attention. Just say yes and prepare for union. And union does not only just mean my physical person shows up. Union means, oh, my divine masculine energy inside of myself and my divine feminine inside of myself got together, started working on something, and made some cool shit. Then later they got together and started to really have a healed and healthy relationship with our sibling who took us years to handle. Union in self doesn't just mean you're sitting next to your person watching Netflix. It means that everything is going well because the masculine energy is not dominating over the feminine energy, is not dominating over the masculine energy. They're just working together and it's going well. That is the meaning of union. And then if you can achieve that union on a regular basis, the same way that when you meditate, you achieve a state of calm because your thoughts aren't constantly distracting you, and you work up to that gradually over time. It takes work. Eventually, your general state is one where if you need to, you can take a breath and come to center. So if you need to, you can take a breath and come into union. And if you keep coming into union all the time inside of yourself, what do you think will happen on the outside of yourself? Know your worth, divine feminine. This is a card that's like, somebody's going to like the way you smell. Not everybody's going to like it, but somebody's going to like it. And who cares about the people that don't? Just know your value. Know your worth. This is also black and white energy, which is the balancing of those binary aspects. Here is the door that needs to be opened. This is a no shit door. This is the 6 of Pentacles. This is seeing reciprocation. This is like, hey, I put a lot of energy into things and I get wonderful gifts back. I experience generosity because I'm generous. So opening the door to this experience of reciprocity. How do we do this? Because that's what we want. We're like, listen, I give all this love to my masculine energy, and he doesn't text me back. Like, what is going on? Why don't I see reciprocity? And how can I see it? And the key is clarity. And look at what the Ace of Swords is showing us, what it's revealing. A big labyrinth, right? Now, I am an 80s brat. As I discovered when I went and looked at my analytics for my YouTube, 92% of you identify as female. And 100% of my subscribers were between the ages of 30 and 45. I feel like that's very specific. So I no longer fear my cultural references are not fully like shared by my audience. That's a crazy indication that there's a collective of individuals who share the same types of experiences because we absorb the same type of media at the same time in history, which creates a lot of similar patterns in our behaviors, similar wounds that need healing, right? Similar revelations, a cluster, so to speak, a collective. Very interesting. Anyway, I digress. I was talking about my favorite movie, Labyrinth, starring the king / queen, David Bowie, him / herself, whatever we want to call David, King David, my King David, okay? Bowie in that film is despicable. But as a child, I was like, I love him because, I don't know, the tights, the confusing sexuality that resonated so much with my own sense of non-binary inside of myself, probably, where I was like, that, okay? And later, as an adult, when I started analyzing my relationship and the person that I chose as my person was very much like David Bowie, probably as close as you can get in my generation, honestly. That person has been putting me through an endless labyrinth of my own creation because I fantasized this king, this goblin king, who would create this crazy, twisty, turny, mysterious road to his ultimate control over my fate. At which point I would then be like, you have no power over me, and go back to doing my own thing. But then at the end of the movie, have him be like so proud of me and learned the lesson. And okay, just stop. It's so embarrassing. But what am I doing? I'm being honest with myself, which is what the Ace of Swords is about. I'm being honest with myself about what type of reciprocation I actually ask for, or I allow, or I condone, right? So, honesty with ourselves, clarity about our situation, clarity about the choices we make, about the people who and their ability to reciprocate. Like my false twin, wow, that person not capable of reciprocating on any level. Like cultural reasons, why not? Work reasons, why not? 8:22 on the clock, I cannot. I keep seeing the double numbers. Like so many reasons why not. Okay? Be honest with yourself about why you don't see reciprocation. It's because of the type of people that we are attracted to, and we're attracted to them usually because they represent something from our childhood that we either are trying to protect ourselves from, or we desire, or etc. This card is coming out in reverse, and the light. So this is for the union. The shadow attribute is a compulsive need to move on. Okay. So the two aspects of self are in union right now on this compulsive need to move on. Feminine is like, if masculine is not just going to come, I need to just move on. And masculine is like, if I can't be good enough for feminine, I need to just let her go and I need to just move on, right? You need to come into the light of the pioneer, which is having a passion for doing and creating what you have not done before. In this dynamic, you engage in runner-chaser energy, okay? You need to not do that this time. Just don't do it this time. Like, just don't do it this time. Don't run. When the masculine is looking a little shaky and unstable and like you don't know, is he a Knight of Wands? Is he not a Knight of Wands? Like, what's going on? Just stand there. Just watch and wait and gain perspective. Heal your wounds. Don't run anywhere. Just sit in the discomfort and do what you haven't done in the past. If you find yourself doing something you have always done, don't do that thing. Look deeper, the two of you. You're only seeing the surface of the situation. There's something deeper beneath the surface that you still need to get into. You still need to kind of sift through and get it out of your system to be able to take that next step. And I also see this as a card. It reminds me of Narcissus. So it makes me feel that you need to also be very compassionate for each other and make sure that you're not just only concerned with how you feel. That's what shifts us into that compulsive need to move on. I let go of the shadow of the past by seeing someone for the first time with the eyes of love. So this is something that's emphasized for the both of you. You really need to let go the shadow of your past and see each other with fresh eyes in that beginner's mind. Your psychic abilities are incredibly enhanced right now. Your ability to communicate, when you heal something, divine masculine can feel it. When you feel jealousy or anger, divine feminine can feel it. You're just very, very connected in this liminal space right now. Expect powerful change. Powerful change. New moon eclipse. So I would say, I don't usually do timing, but we're right on top of the new moon energy. So this could have a significant role in the change that's about to happen. It could be an enhancement of your psychic gifts, actually, that is coming through this new moon. You might have even a new level of communication. Unbound, again with the past lives, soul contracts, etc. And that coming out with the releasing the past and having fresh eyes. You're no longer bound to the story of your past. Release that story. Be free from the bonds of the past. Coyote spirit. Trust in divine detours. Trust, trust, trust. Trust keeps coming up for the two of us. And it's so important. So let me just get this message out in its entirety. Sometimes a goal is so enticing and alluring that you lose your footing in the pursuit. You begin to fixate on capturing this prize, whether it be an opportunity you have always wanted, a relationship with that elusive someone, or the promise of that big break. Coyote spirit warns you that this trickster energy seducing you now will yield nothing but disappointment and unnecessary heartache if you let yourself be fooled. Great Spirit wants the best for you, so when your plans go topsy-turvy, know that Coyote Spirit is present to protect and bless you. Listen to her gentle warning not to take the world too seriously or become too attached to the form and timing of your desire. Something better is beckoning. If you learn your lessons and lighten your heart, it will not be long before you see that, crooked though the path may have been, you were on the right one all along. That's a great message. All right. And the final closing messages I shall deliver. Please click the links below. If you feel like support, you can send gratuity for this reading so I can continue to do these free readings. You can book personal readings there. You can also hear my music. I am quite a formidable musician. You can find me Pearl and the Prayers. The song It's Me Babe was just released, and another one called Flesh and Bone from last year or 2 years ago. Those are all available on all of the streaming services. So please go follow, support, and check me out. And the schedule is going to be going up on my website soon, but this week, Wednesday, is Obstacles Removed. I am taking off Friday and Saturday. Friday is a significant day for me, and I don't know if I'll be happy or sad, and I want the ability to be however I am that day without having to worry about anything else. So I will not be doing Release and Rebuild on Friday. I will try to fit it in on Thursday instead, and I will see you on Sunday this week. So a little slightly different schedule. But okay, let us close the energy out. Okay, the door that needs to be opened for the twins, the Hierophant, sacred union, marriage, learning our lessons, higher level relationships, authority, and tradition. How can we open this door to the sacred union that we so desire? Please don't kill me. It's the Three of Wands. Patience, trust, faith, following that light that's in the darkness, towards one another, allowing these pieces to fall into place. That's it. That's all she wrote. That's all I got for you. Just be patient. Like I said, please don't kill me. I hope that everybody has received enlightenment today. I'm going to go now I have meetings and stuff, and then I kind of am free. I have kind of free time later for people to call me and catch up with me because I have been so busy. And then tomorrow I have off. So, all right. I shall see you on Wednesday. Have the best day. Take care.